In the closing days of 1986, the news out of Saskatchewan was tragic.
By a junior hockey team turned into a tragedy this afternoon when the team bus slid off an icy road near Swift Current, Saskatchewan. 4 of the young hockey players were killed.
The Swift Current Broncos were making their way to Regina for their Western Hockey League matchup against the Pats when their bus slid off the highway and rolled into a ditch.
2 of the players died when they were thrown from the wreck, and 2 others died when they were trapped underneath the bus. 19 other players suffered minor injuries. Driving conditions were treacherous at the time, with freezing rain and snow having turned roads into sheets of ice.
Bob Wilkie survived the crash.
Yesterday, they were dreaming of a future as hockey stars. Today, they're just happy to be alive.
It messed a lot of us up for a long time.
In the years that followed, Bob played for teams you've heard of, like the Philadelphia Flyers and the Detroit Red Wings, and for teams you probably have not heard of, like the Cincinnati Cyclones, Fresno Falcons, and the Anchorage Aces. No matter where he played, one thing always traveled alongside Bob, and that's the trauma from the crash.
14 years, I kind of continued to ride that bus after that event. Never felt comfortable on the bus. Anytime there was that same movement that I remember from when the bus went off the road, not a healthy thing, not processing or really learning how to overcome that trauma, and paralyzing at times. I just did not want to get back on that bus.
The Swift Current Broncos sought no outside help and no counseling for the young players. The prescription was very back to work. And I know what you're thinking. That really doesn't make any sense. Until I tell you that the coach of the team was Graham James. Yes, that Graham James.
Former junior hockey coach Graham James was sentenced in a Winnipeg courtroom for sexually abusing 2 of his former players. James served time before for sexually assaulting ex-NHLer Sheldon Kennedy and 2 others. He was sentenced to 3.5 years then, but only served 18 months.
Now you know why there was no urgency to involve any counselors.
We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to do things. And, being under the thumb of Graham James and everything that he had going on, he really was able to manipulate a lot of people and thinking that we were going to be able to get through it together, or that he had the skills to help us to make sure that we were, going to be okay through the process.
In the years that passed, Bob Wilkie dedicated his life to dealing with his own trauma from the bus crash and helping others cope with theirs. He developed award-winning mental wellness initiatives, corporate training, a sports psychology curriculum, and counseling for individuals and families designed to bolster resilience, well-being, and performance. Bob launched a scholarship fund. There's a documentary in the works. And now from the health professionals at I Got Mine comes Tear Off the Tape, a series of podcast episodes where people share their stories and knowledge through their new community.
Secret safe with me.
Tear Off the Tape, coming this fall on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and igotmind.ca.